Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's having a good day today, and thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day to check this out. Much appreciated. And today I'm going to give up another secret. And when I talk about these secrets, a lot of times, some people say, "Oh, that's not a secret," or I get turned off by the word secret. Well, these are secrets that I'm giving you guys. I mean, just because a few people out there may have heard about them or used them, they still remain fairly secretive in the fishing community, and a tremendous amount of people out there, even professional anglers, don't know about them, because a lot of the things that I share with you guys out there, they're my own modifications of existing techniques or things that work out there. And what I've tried to do is I've studied and analyzed a lot of different lures and techniques, and I've tried to put my own twist on it. And through decades on the water, I've came up what I think is a better system on a lot of it, that'll add up to some more fish. And that's like part of what I'm going to share with you guys today. So anyway, today's secret, or today's forgotten lure, or whatever you want to call it, is one that it's actually, this bait has won me over $200,000 in bass fishing tournament competition. And I'll get right into it, and I'm going to explain to you how I set it up and why I fish it and why it's so effective. And it's the old 4-inch ringworm, or ringer. This is made by Zoom. They make one. This bait's been out forever, and like I said, Zoom's got one that I use here. And it's one of the oldest styles of plastic worms that there is out there, and one of the most effective. If you guys want to see how effective one tournament video, which I think it's the only video I'm aware of, is if you go back and just Google Bassmaster Mobile Delta Top 150. I won that tournament. It was a Bassmaster Top 150 at the Mobile Delta. I believe that was in 2002 maybe, something like that. You might have to look at it, but anyway, it's the Bassmaster Tournament 150 I won on the Mobile Delta. And you can see in this tournament, I won that tournament. I caught half my fish in the tournament on the 4-inch ringworm. I was catching them on a jig in the tournament. They sort of got off the jig, and I went to the ringworm and wound up catching the fish that actually won the tournament for me the last day of the tournament on it. And this isn't the first time. I've had a lot of tournaments out there where when I get on it, specifically like a jig bite or some type of a flipping bite, and those fish get off of it, I can go to this ringworm and keep catching them. That is the secret right there that I just shared with you guys. When you're catching these fish, pitching and flipping on a bigger bait, like if you're using a full-size brush hog or a bigger creature bait or a jig, and they get off of it, you can go to this ringworm right here and keep catching good ones on it, because even though it's a small worm, there's something about the ribs and the tail on there that will attract fish in dirtier water, the type of water you're pitching and flipping in. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit about it, tell you a little bit about it. I first got keyed in on this bait. The first time I used it was in 1986 when I drew Tommy Martin out at Sam Rayburn. It was my second Bassmaster tournament in my career. I didn't know what I was doing. I drew Tommy out the second day of that tournament, and Tommy wound up finishing second in that tournament on the ringworm. And I'm going to show you what I learned from that and the two different ways I rig it. First of all, there's two ways that I rig the ringworm, two different situations. It's not just for the pitching and flipping. There's two different ways I rig it. First way I want to show you is the way that Tommy got second in the tournament, and the way that I've also used it in a finesse application a lot of different ways, and that's by rigging it on a jig head. So what I do with that is, you can see it's got this sort of like that little rounded type head on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the head off of it to the first set of rings like that. And then I take a Megabass Okashira 1/8 ounce jig head. I painted this one red, and simply put it on like a jig head. This like anything else, this thing, you really got to work to get this thing straight on here, because this is really a small diameter worm, and there's not a lot of room for error. But there it is right there. That is a deadly little tidbit, I'm telling you guys right there. Anytime you get in a situation where they're biting a shaky head or a drop shot, something like that, just give this 4-inch ringworm a try on that Okashira head. It works really good in the grass. I mean, if you guys are fishing grass lakes like in Texas, Florida, the TVA lakes, where you have milfoil or hydrilla. In the springtime of the year, this little thing on an 8-pound test line is deadly, man. I'm telling you right there, it's a really, really good bait to use it. But the main reason that I want to do this video and show you is the flipping application I use it. The way that I set this up, like I said, anytime that I'm in a flipping situation where I'm catching them on a jig, I usually always have the ringworm tied on, and I just don't talk about it, man. This is the first time I've ever talked about the ringworm and using it. And one of the reasons, one of the guys asked me in the comment section of the video I did earlier today about when we're going to do a ringworm story. So I'm going to show you guys how to set it up. First of all, most of the time I'm using a 3/16 ounce slip sinker on there, and I'll peg it, but I found that the 3/16 seems to work better than anything. I'll use it on 20 to 25 pound test line. This is not a finesse type pitching presentation. I'm using it on big line, and I like the way the bait falls with the 3/16 ounce sinker, and I'm rigging it with a this is a 1/0 Gamakatsu G-Finesse worm hook, straight shank hook. So it's a fairly smaller wire hook. You know, it's a wire hook, but you don't. The thing about this little ringworm is you don't want to use like some flipping style hook on it, because it kills the action of the bait. And even though I'm using heavier line on it, I still like the lighter hook. So I've got it set up like this, and I'm going to show you guys setting it up. I don't ever come back in to the middle of the worm. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in the side, just in the ribs, and I'm going to stick this hook just in the side of the ribs. If you can see it, I've got it. Let me see if you can get a picture of it there. See, I've got it just the point of the hook is actually in the rib itself, and that way I don't have any plastic to penetrate. When the fish hits that thing, the worm just separates away from the hook, and you get them on it. So there's my setup like that. 4-inch ringworm, 3/16 ounce sinker, 20-25 pound test line, rigged with the 1/0 straight shank hook on there like that. And usually, like I said, I usually peg it with a toothpick or you know, the peg it type soft plastic thing. But anyway, a little bit more about the technique on this thing. Like I said, anytime that you get into a situation where you're flipping lay down trees, you know, bushes, docks, anything like that, and you've got that water visibility that is like between, say, like 1 to 3 feet. That's when I find out that the ringworm works really good, is when you're in that window of 1 to 3 feet. And when those fish are set up and biting, pitching and flipping baits, that's when you want to use this as a backup bait. I hardly ever use it right off the bat. It's usually something that supplements the bigger bait that I'm using. But anyway, guys, just check it out. You can go to, like I said, just Google Bassmaster Top 150 Mobile Delta 2002. You can see me using this bait. You can see me win the tournament on the bait. And like I said, even after that tournament, I didn't talk a lot about it in that tournament, even that I won on it, because it's been so productive on there. But anyway, that's this is my, you know, overlooked, forgotten soft plastic baits. It's won me over 200,000, maybe more. I mean, I won 110,000 in that tournament at the Mobile Delta on it. And, you know, throughout the course of the year, I've used it countless times to get good checks on it. So it's definitely a bait that's won me a ton of money, and it's been productive for over 30 years and will continue to be so. It's just one of those baits that has the profile that the fish really like. So anyway, that's today's tip. Go out and get you some. Like I said, if you guys are interested in ordering any of this stuff, you know, please use the Fish of the Moment Tackle Warehouse link. You can order, I know you can order these ringworms. Zoom makes them through the Tackle Warehouse, but use that Tackle Warehouse link. Johnny and I get a percentage of that profit. There's nothing added to the price of the bait. We just get a percentage from the sale, which helps us keep doing these videos. And appreciate it again, guys. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, much appreciated. And we'll be back soon with another one. Talk to you later.